Well, it is a good morning to you, YouTube. Today I had a great idea, or hopefully great idea. I thought maybe I'd take you on a job of mine. So I am working with Audio&Light, a high production company based out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And well, we have an event today over in the Greensboro baseball stadium. I almost went to Vidalia, Georgia with the Temptations, but I'm glad I didn't, just because there was a lot more that was going on. I was a little bit nervous about it. Anyway, we were off to the baseball stadium this morning, and I'm really excited to bring you all along to show you what I do and kind of how this thing goes and how high production audio and live sound goes. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I will see you in the next part of this, hopefully at the shop. Okay, so I'm gonna get a coffee at McDonald's because I'm about 30 minutes early to the shop. Got my large caramel iced coffee. Ready to tackle the morning. In the truck, ready to go to the ballpark. Andrew's gonna be driving. You'll see Andrew soon. So as I was sitting here editing this footage, I wanted to kind of change up the way that this is kind of gonna go, or this video is kind of gonna go. So before we get into it, I just want to talk a little bit about what we do. So we left the warehouse at 9:30, as you saw, and then we got to the Grasshopper Stadium at about 10, and then they opened the gate for us and we walked in. The stage was already set up. All we had to do was set up the PA and set up the lighting and make sure everything was good to go. The PA, let's talk about that for a second. The PA is extremely heavy and extremely dangerous if you are not careful and you don't play it safely. The subwoofers, there's two of them stacked on top of each other on either side, so you've got four of them. They're about 400 pounds a sub, so you've got 800 pounds stacked on top of each other on these carts. Then what we had to do is we had to take this plate, this like weird base thing, spread it out on top of the subs, and then stack those speakers. There's about 5 of them on top of each, or on top of them on each side. And so if you don't do that safely, it is not good. Somebody can die. It is very heavy. It's very dangerous. If you don't set it up correctly also, you can't do the art of sound or doing sound for somebody, which is the mixing part of it and making the band sound really, really tight. The band has to be tight though. They have to be really good at what they do in order to make them sound good. The next thing we did was run cables all across the stage. We set up we had a patch list and set up all the patches for the headlining band, Big Something. They were kind of similar to the second to last band, Mantras. And what was neat is both of those bands, they kind of interplayed in each other's set. So some of the guys in Big Something played the Mantras set, and some of the guys in the Mantras played the Big Something set. Super cool bands, super tight, really good at what they did.
Here we go!
So what you just saw there was Zane doing his smart controls. That Avid board, which is made by Avid, who makes Protools and Sibelius and like the music writing software, the music recording software, he was using that actual console for live sound and set up what is called Smart, and it takes the area of the venue that you're in and you're able to tune your speakers to make them sound good, to make sure that everything is balanced and what's overpowered and what's resonated in that area and that type of stuff. And so he takes a microphone, there was a little cable going out to a microphone out there, and then he was adjusting the speakers and EQing them to make them sound good for when the bands come up.
I don't know what side to attack that from. That's pretty sick, my dude. It's like double the size of the bunny. Alright. Man. Dude, mac and cheese on the taco. That's like the best invention ever. I'm gonna try this sour food. Now, great love on the explanation.
So after setting everything up, or almost everything, we ate at a place called Crafted. Awesome tacos. You'll see the tacos in the video.
For Rinaldi Flying Circus.
As he just said, Rinaldi Flying
Circus.
Circus.
You guys have some albums that are with you? They've got some albums with them. You can see them right over here to the left.
What have you made?
I've made a lovely lounge chair. I can stretch out, sun myself on the side, and I also have both protection from the sun on my neck and some mild sound padding.
The music steers, opens up ears. Now it's time to shine on.
So before I go into the last band and the rest of it, I do want to say that the last two bands, the Mantras and the Big Something, brought their own sound engineers. So their own sound engineers were doing monitor mix and front of house. Front of house means you're mixing what the crowd hears. Monitor engineer means you're mixing what they're hearing in the wedges that we brought. Some people have in-ear monitors. They're like headphones that they put in and they can hear what the rest of the band is playing on the stage. But they didn't have that because Big Something was going to play at Fat Frog that night, right after that concert. Pretty huge of them. But yeah, that's why we didn't mix the last two bands.
Feel like we always on a run, but we are, and I'm just standing in line, losing my mind. I don't know why, 'cause every day is a gift from the sun.
Holy crap, y'all, this game is hard to play. Live sound, especially in the higher production area, is crazy. I'm just about half dead. We're about to drive the truck back. We just gotta load it up. I wish I could have time-lapsed that, but well, there was a lot of work to get done, and we needed to get it done fast, so I didn't get a chance to set up the camera. But I hope you enjoyed the show. It's pretty cool. And I will see you tomorrow on what I do with Elon, which is super cool. It's a lot lower scale. This stuff just wears you out. I was here from 9:30. Yeah, and it is like 9 at night. So, or no, it's probably 10:30. I don't know what time it is. I'll see you in the next part. So this is day 2 of the weekend where I kind of show you what my job is. And this time I'm working with Elon. It's a whole lot smaller of a setup than like Audio&Light is, but that's because these 2 events are kind of weird. I've got a camera shoot for one, and then I've got a basically it's just kind of a monitoring of the set for a conference. It's called the AILA conference, A-I-L-Y-A, I think it is. I don't know what it's called. It's supposedly cool. I don't know. My setup is pretty interesting. But I'm gonna take you through the day, and let me just tell you real quick about some of the things that I bring with me every time I go to an event or prep for something, or just to make sure I have. So I bring my backpack. That's kind of hold everything, so always bring a bag. I guess that's 1. 2, bring your phone. Make sure you have the contacts of everyone that is in the event, who's leading it, who's doing whatever, making sure that you can get in contact with whoever it is to make sure that the event's gonna run smoothly. The 3rd is a knife. I always carry that. I'm always cutting cables off. I'm always cutting things that I need. I'm using it as a screwdriver, something like that, something really quick and really easy that I can use as a multi-tool. I use a spring-assisted Kershaw. The next thing is a Sharpie. I always keep the Sharpie around my shirt nowadays. And so that is super easy to mark things, especially if you're doing sound, because you can mark what's on the mixer board, because you'll always have tape, especially if you're working at a university. There's always tape around to mark the mixer and all that stuff. The next thing is a screwdriver, and that is what you go and get a little multi-tool that can fit a bunch of different bits, flathead and Phillips mainly, but it's nice to have Allen wrench and I think it's like a star head. I don't know what that star thing is, but that is awesome to have because you never know what you're gonna run into where you have to take something apart and fix it. That leads me into the next thing that I wanna bring around with me. I don't always have, but with my job at Elon and my job at Audio&Light, they have it for me. But for freelancers, it's a little bit different, a soldering iron. I have heard many people say where they have lost a cable or a cable has died and it's the only cable they have, but they have attachments to fix it. So they're able to take the cable apart and then resolder it, fix it, and the gig is going. So that is something else to keep in mind to take along with you. That's just a few things of what I take around with me all the time. Always bring water, by the way, because you never know what you're running into. Always bring water so you don't die, basically. But yeah. So this is the cart we use at Elon. Super nice little gas cart. Transports all our stuff around pretty easily. For the bigger events though, we use a van, like a utility van almost, that we transport gear around. That'll be for like larger shows and stuff like that. So the other part of my job here is just to make sure that the presenters and everything have working computers and all that stuff in the classrooms. So this is kind of my workstation to start at. They'll talk to a classroom kind of this size. And yeah, specifically for this conference, it's going to be people showing presentations to kids. I don't know what it's directly about. I just talked to the guy. I'm not sure, but they're changing up rooms. I just got to make sure that the presenters are able to work with the system and that it's going to work with the screen up there, the projector over there. And yeah, that's kind of what I do here. This is a much smaller event than what we normally do, but that's okay. It's a little bit complicated, but we're willing to deal with it. And we have a lot of students, aka me and all my other coworkers, that are able to do this stuff. Now for this specific event, they're using 3 different rooms for these projection type things, and so I have to set up 3 different rooms. Then I'll come back once I get another event set up that you'll see soon, and I will make sure that all of the presenters are good to go as far as using that stuff. Super cool. Well, not really super cool, kind of boring. But it's what my job entails. I love it. I have fun with it. It's nice meeting new people. So yeah.
Here we go.